Hey there friends, what's going on? It's Codiak here. Welcome back to Legacy Gaming and another Assassin's Creed Valhalla video. I have been getting a ton of requests to update my previous build guides for the game, and since the Siege of Paris just came out and we do have more expansions, DLCs down the road, I thought it would be good to put together an end game build. This is the build that you would take going into the next DLCs. It's a build that checks off a lot of boxes. It's aggressive when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. It's got a little bit of a ranged component, and that can be adjusted based on your playstyle. And the good news is it only includes one set from the store. A lot of you have asked me over the past couple months to provide you with a snapshot of what gear I think in the store is worth picking up. So I did a little bit of a combination. It's one gear set from the store, and all of the rest of the items are from the games, whether it be from the base game, the Wrath of the Druids DLC, or the Siege of Paris. At this point, if you're buying the game, you're still invested in the game, you're most likely going to be continuing into the following DLCs, whether it be Ragnarok or something else, and maybe you're looking for that high-end build that combines a number of different pieces across all of the different DLCs, including the store, and that was kind of my goal, to create an awesome armor set that players could pick up all the pieces in their spare time and have this really robust kit going into the next DLC, the next free content that was just going to perform. And with that out of the way, let's dive in and talk about the items. Now, in classic fashion, we are going to be combining two different sets here. I think that's going to be the best bang for your buck. And the first set I want to talk about is the Paladin set. We just released a video the other day talking about why this armor set is easily one of the top armor sets in the game, if not the best. The stat bonuses are pretty straightforward. Your melee attacks consume more stamina, but you deal more damage. And if you look at the actual numbers here, you're using 5% more stamina consumption, but you're getting a flat plus 50 to melee damage. There is nothing else in the game that even comes close, and the beauty is you only need 2 pieces. The 5 piece is good if you're going for an adrenaline shield build, but that's not what we're doing here. So again, if you haven't checked out that video on the Paladin set, I definitely recommend you do that. We have a handy map to show you exactly where to find every piece. We go into more details about that, but we're here to talk about this particular build. And the other set that we need in conjunction with the Paladin set is the Einhajar set. I have talked about this in a number of different videos. This is just easily one of the best sets of gear in the game. It is so straightforward. It increases your attack after each kill. It stacks up to 3 times. You get a whopping 50-second buff, and that can increase your attack up to 30 points. Now that is a huge deal for, again, a 2-piece bonus. So in conjunction, you're getting plus 50 melee damage because of the Paladin set. You're getting plus 30 attack because of the Einhajar set. We haven't even talked about runes. We haven't even talked about the weapons. We are off to a great start with both of these sets laying the foundation for a truly endgame kit. All right, so next, let's talk about the weapons. There are 2, of course, because we're going to be dual wielding. We're just a Viking, that's what we do. And we have to start with the Guy Bulge. This is the legendary weapon from the Wrath of the Druids DLC, and as long as you picked up that expansion, you're going to be able to get this weapon. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Polearms, spears, whatever you want to call them, they are the best in the game by a long shot. You get extended reach, you get so much flexibility with the attack animations, and the Guy Bulge effect, the lightning shock after 3 consecutive hits, is an incredible way to deal damage and stun damage. It's just a lights out weapon, and in conjunction with the other weapon we're about to talk about, it just works. All of the pieces come together. You're going to be able to take out opponents, big, small, heavy armor, light armor, does not matter. The Guy Bulge is absolutely the arcstone of this entire build. The other weapon in the mix here is Durandal. This is one of the brand new one-handed swords, and if you didn't know, we do have a video on the channel covering all of the new weapons in the game, including the one-handed swords, including the scythes, so I definitely recommend you check that out. Now, Durandal is interesting. It increases your critical chance when at 85% health or higher. That's going to increase your crit chance by plus 20 as long as you maintain close to full health. Now, I have been very clear in all of the videos that I've put out that I think that effect is very good in this game. There are so many ways, whether it be rations or some of the skills that have been recently introduced into the game, to keep your health at or close to maximum. There is very little reason why you would ever be 25% or lower, 50% or lower. There's just no reason. It is so easy to keep your health up, so why not find a weapon that ties into that? And I'll be honest with you guys, the one-handed swords don't have the best attack animations, but they're fast. They've got a slightly longer reach than the one-handed axes. I think a lot of players just like using swords, and I wanted to build that into this kit, which is why Durandal gets that second slot. In the same vein, I wanted to pick a bow that fit my playstyle and also felt right in this kit, and we picked the Dokelfar bow. This is part of that premium starter pack. I know a lot of players either don't want to buy this or they bought it and it was bugged, so maybe you returned it or you got a refund. I really like this bow. I'm a huge fan of hunter bows in this game, and it does the same thing. Increases my crit chance when close to full health. That threshold is a bit higher at 90%, but as long as I'm doing that, I'm getting a flat plus 15 to crit chance. Now I just want to say, you do not need to use this weapon. The range playstyle is going to vary drastically depending on you as a player. Maybe you like the light bows, maybe you like the hunter bows or the predator bows. This is the one real flex piece. Pick the item that's going to work best for your playstyle. Ranged weapons in particular are more dependent on how you play the game than the stats themselves, and trust me, giving up that plus 15 crit chance is not going to make or break this build, so pick a bow that works for you. Now that we've talked about all of the different pieces in the kit, let's quickly talk about runes. I know they've introduced hybrid runes into the game, but honestly, I'm not going to go grind for hybrid runes. The standard runes in the game do it well enough for me. If you're out there and you want to grind for new runes, that's fine. I totally respect it. The one thing I will say is that the base runes in the game are fine. They're gonna get the job done. And as you can see, I go for a combination of different things. Range resistance is really important to me. There are so many crossbowmen in Francia. I can imagine they're going to do the same thing in future DLCs. It's just going to reduce the damage that you take from those archers, which are constantly a thorn in the side of any player that plays melee aggressive. Ranged enemies aren't hard to kill, they're just annoying, so I want to do what I can to mitigate that. In the same vein, I also like using just the flat armor runes. Those just give me a little bit more heft, a little bit more survivability on the battlefield. Like I said, it's about keeping your health above a certain threshold with this build, as well as just being melee aggressive. So having a little bit of defensive or survivability runes in the mix here is not a bad thing. Same can be said for the health runes. We don't need more health, but it's just kind of what we're left with at this point. But the real special sauce here are those diamond runes, and I'm using a few different ones that are going to increase my crit chance, which you've already seen to be a theme here, as well as just straight ones that are going to increase my attack or increase my crit. That's what I want to do as much as I can. Give me more chances to crit, give me more attack power. That is going to make this a truly aggressive build, and that's what I'm going for. That's how I like to play this game, and I know a lot of you like to be in the throes of battle. That's what we're trying to do here. Is it the flashiest kit? No, but it's going to allow you to move from target to target and just cut people down, and that is a beautiful thing. So with the items and the runes out of the way, all that's left is the combat, and as you guys can tell from the gameplay, this is just smooth as butter. Whether or not you're using the Guy Bulge in your main hand, Durandal in your main hand, you can swap them around as needed, and in conjunction with the abilities that I like to use, which include things like the Harpoon, Valkyrie Leap, the Headbutt, sometimes I even use the new Rat Plague ability from the range perspective, you are just going to be an animal on the battlefield. You have so much flexibility to kill, to adjust on the fly, and to take out any enemies, big or small, that you need to. Of course, I want to highlight certain things like Focus of Nornir, which are always going to be valuable for taking out more heavily armored targets like the new Heavy Cavalry, and other things like Valkyrie Leap are just fantastic for engaging with groups of enemies, but you can of course change out the abilities to fit your playstyle. The hard work was putting together the build. Now you can take out enemies however you want. Just know that you're going for a high crit chance, high attack build, and you need to keep your health as high as possible if you want to gain the most benefits from the build we're talking about here today. And honestly, it's as simple as that. With all that knowledge now rattling around in our brains, we can build ourselves an ultimate endgame build in Assassin's Creed Valhalla that will serve us well in current content and future content to come. Of course, things will change as new weapon types, new armor, all that stuff gets introduced into the game, but if you're looking for a set that's going to serve you well, look no further. If you guys have any questions about this build or anything Assassin's Creed related, please let us know in the comments section below. We do our best to answer as many questions as we can, and we'd be happy to help you out. Of course, if you liked the video and you want to support us, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It really does go a long way to helping channels like ours continue to grow. And if you want to join us on Discord, you can do that as well. We've got a great community of around 7,000 members spread across dozens of great games, including Assassin's Creed, and we'd love to have you join us. Finally, if you like everything we're doing here at Legacy Gaming and you want to support us even more, you can now do so by becoming a member. For just a couple bucks, you're helping evolve the channel and take our community to that next level. Check out the join button below to learn more. My name is Codiak, and from everyone here at Legacy Gaming, thanks for watching, and play on.